News, a trailer full of cattle overturned on the interstate. This is on I-20 West and I-55 South. 16 WAPT's Allie Ward joins us live from the scene. Allie.
Hey, good morning. If you're just joining us this morning, there has been a tractor trailer wreck at I-20 westbound. Now, this is what's going on behind me right now. And several of them got loose and several of them were trapped inside, and there are still some dead inside. What you're seeing now, though, is some of these cows that were trapped inside are actually getting out. We talked to the Hinds County emergency operator who said people who had been working with cattle before or do work in the industry had been called out to help gather these cows, and that's exactly what happened. They've made a corral, they've dug into this trailer, and now some of those cows are being loose and put into another trailer. So that's what's happening right now. But across the city, lots of cows are loose. They said they've captured about 40, but still lots of them are loose. Actually, there's one accident. I think there's still lights. There's still lights up here behind me at Gallatin Street where someone actually hit a cow. I want to mention that most of these cows are black, so it's going to be hard to see them. We talked to the emergency operator at Hinds County who says if you do see a cow on the side of the road or in your neighborhood, just call it in. I know that a lot of animal lovers are going to try to pet it and want to help it. Leave it alone. It's not going to let you get close to it at all. So just call it in, and then the emergency operators will do their job. Now, we do not know who the company is that the driver works for, so we don't know who these cows belong to right now. We do have an update on the driver. He is expected to be okay. He had non-life-threatening injuries to his arm. He was taken to the hospital, but again, expected to be okay. The big picture here this morning, if you're headed west at all, I would just go ahead and plan a different route to work. I-20 westbound will be shut down for most of the morning as they try to get these cows out, try to get a lot of cows roped in. You can see horses. They're going to go out in horses when it gets a little bit lighter outside and try to get some of these cows roped up and taken to another trailer. I-20 westbound, again, shut down for most of the morning. Two tow trucks are here, though, waiting to get this tractor trailer moved as soon as we get all the animals out of the way. We'll have live updates for you throughout the morning. Live in Jackson, Allie Ware, 16 WAPT News.
All right, thanks, Allie. And once again, be careful if you do have to go around this area. And Marcus, you got caught behind this wreck on the way into work this morning.
Yeah, I did, Keegan. As a matter of fact, I believe I was one of the first people to come upon this and called 911 first. But I want to show everybody at home some of the video I was able to get. And this is a photo right here, and you can see the cattle right there in front of my car, right walking down the interstate. And this is some of the cattle as well crossing the road. And we also had a video of the cattle in the middle of the road and blocking the traffic, and 18-wheelers and cars and such were not able to go by. But luckily and thankfully, nobody coming down the interstate at that time hit any of the cows that was there. And but Allie did report that we did have one person involved in an accident involving the cows. All right, also moving on to another story happening today. A youth football team is heading to their championship game that they almost had to skip. Thanks to the generosity of the community, including our viewers, the Jackson Lions are able to leave for Atlanta this morning. The Lions were undefeated this year, but a lack of money almost forced the team to skip their championship plans. The team needed $6,000 for a bus to get to the game, as well as hotel rooms and food. We aired their story last week, and after that, the donations started to pour in.
It started coming in. Some people donated $10, some people donated $25, and then all of a sudden we get this $1,000 donation.
The parents and the team are thankful for everyone's generosity. The championships are today through Sunday in Atlanta. Parents tell us any extra money raised will go towards the team's expenses for next year. And Keegan, a lot of people donated to that football team, and luckily and thankfully they get a chance to go and play in that championship game. Yes,
and I was actually watching the interview with that mother. She says they cannot say enough thank yous to everyone who showed their generosity. So it's just a great thing.
Exactly. Now, being a former football player myself and starting in the youth league, I understand just how important it is for those kids to play early, and it's going to help them in their future, football, basketball, whatever sport they decide to go in.
Yeah, exactly. All right, it is now coming up on 6:07 this morning. We have an update on the dog shot during a home burglary in Jackson. It has died. That burglary and shooting happened Wednesday on Norwood Avenue. The dog's owner, Rejani Perry, says he walked into his parents' home to find his pet, Nico, wounded.
I went inside the house. I seen blood everywhere. And I see my dog, he was shot right here in the shoulder blade.
It's just like losing a child. I've raised him since, you know, he was a puppy. An animal is special because they have the mentality of keying in with you, you know, and it's just you and them a lot of times. So you acquire a different type of relationship.
If you know anything about the burglary, call Crime Stoppers. Well, some people want a name change for the USS Jackson, a Navy ship named after the capital city. Now, the city of Jackson is named for former President Andrew Jackson, but some say he treated African and Native Americans horribly. They want the Navy to pick a new name, but Navy officials say the name comes from honoring the bond between the military and Jackson, Mississippi. 8 cadets from South Carolina Military College are suspended for wearing hoods resembling the KKK. They took pictures of themselves wearing white pillowcases on their heads. Somebody then posted these pictures to social media. Those students claim they were dressed like the ghosts of Christmas past for a Christmas play.
I went to go look at my Snapchat stories, and he had posted a video of what looked like people dressed up in, you know, the white hoods and stuff, and I was like, that's really strange.
The president of the college says the pictures are offensive and disturbing. Minority students make up less than 8% of the student body there. New overnight, 4 people were killed after a medical helicopter crashed in California. The chopper disappeared yesterday evening near McFarland. Rescue crews started looking for the helicopter when the pilot did not respond over the radio. There's no word yet on what caused the crash. This morning, federal authorities continue to search a lake in San Bernardino for clues in last week's mass shooting. Meantime, on Capitol Hill, lawmakers want to know why the government did not pick up on the suspect's extremist views. 16 WAPT's Nicole Killian has an update from our D.C. newsroom.
The FBI says it could take days to finish its search of the San Bernardino Lake. Authorities won't say what they're looking for, but they believe suspected shooter Saeed Farouk and Tashfeen Malik may have visited the lake on the day of their deadly rampage. Meantime, on Capitol Hill, the head of the FBI and other intelligence officials briefed lawmakers about the ongoing investigation behind closed doors, but many wonder whether potential red flags were missed. The FBI says the couple discussed jihad and martyrdom as early as 2013, but the government did not appear to pick up on those messages, according to federal officials. In Washington, Nicole Killian, 16 WAPT News.
Well, now to another exciting Thursday night in the NFL, Marcus.
That's right, Keegan, and hard to believe only 4 more weeks left in the NFL football season. Week 14 kicked off last night in Arizona. Cardinals taking on the Vikings. A win for the home team, and they would clinch a playoff berth. 3rd and 8. Carson Palmer fires to Michael Floyd. Check out that nice block by Larry Fitzgerald, and Floyd scores on a 42-yard touchdown, 17-10 Arizona. 20-13 Arizona late in the game. Teddy Bridgewater to former Ole Miss Rebel Mike Wallace for the game-tying touchdown, but the Minnesota Vikings fall in this one. Arizona wins. Final score 23-20. Cardinals are going to the playoffs. All right, so Jackson State University has named Wheeler Brown its new athletic director. The former college basketball coach had operated in the interim role since October following Robert Walker's resignation, but Brown's interim tag is no more. Before arriving at JSU, his last stop was at Copen State, where he served as Associate Director of Athletics. Now, when it comes to naming a new head football coach at JSU, Brown is keeping his cards close to the vest. Right now to a special B.B. King unveiling, Keegan.
Marcus, in Indianola, a centerpiece for a memorial courtyard will be revealed today. It'll be outside the B.B. King Museum and Delta Interpretive Center. The blues legend grew up in Indianola. King died in May at 89 years old. And we continue to follow that breaking news. Cows along the interstate at I-55 near the stack in Jackson. Volunteers are now trying to get those animals out of the wrecked trailer and into a separate trailer. We're going to keep you updated on the situation just ahead. And let's go ahead and take a live look outside, if we can, this morning from our South Jackson Sky Cam. How is the forecast shaping up? Brittany Bell lets us know all about it next.
Well, we are getting off to a warm start to our Friday, looking at temperatures in the 60s, also cloudy skies outside our sky cam over in South Jackson. So temperatures are pretty much well above average for this time of the year, near 70 degrees in some spots in Jackson. It is 67 degrees, winds out of the south close to 9 miles per hour, and it's going to stay breezy today. We'll have winds out of the south between 10 and 15 miles per hour. So good morning in Brookhaven, up to 68 degrees, 67 in Macomb, and 68 in Vicksburg. So overall, mostly cloudy skies this morning, some patchy fog as well. Throughout the day, warming up pretty quickly by lunchtime, 75 degrees, and we'll reach a high of 78 this afternoon. So across the state, just widespread cloud cover, some breaks in the clouds as well. But overall, things are pretty dry across the southeast and more of the same across the midsection of the country. But it is very active along the west coast, and that's all due to this system churning, bringing them a lot of rainfall. Actually brought some severe weather, even tornadoes near Washington yesterday. That system will bring us rain on Sunday. So that's going to die to the south and develop an area of low pressure near the southwest, and that will swing towards our area and bring us a cold front and around a heavy rainfall and gusty winds. But today and Saturday, very warm, not feeling like December with high temperatures, warming up into the upper 70s and the lower 80s. And it's going to stay windy, too, especially tomorrow ahead of that cold front. So this warm weather does come with the price. That combination of warm and moist air ahead of that area low pressure will give us that threat for a few strong to severe storms. The main concern with any of those stronger storms on Sunday will be that threat for strong winds, also heavy rainfall. Can't rule out a brief spin-up tornado, but overall more concerned with that threat for heavy rainfall and gusty winds. Now, time-wise, most of Sunday will be dry, but by Sunday afternoon, we'll notice that line of activity developing off to our west. That's going to close in close to the river a few hours before sunset and push in across the metro after dark. And we'll see that rain tapering off very early Monday morning. So most of Monday should be dry. So bottom line, looking wet for Sunday. But today, a high of 78 degrees. Dry on Saturday, a high of 81. We could get very close to breaking some highs on Saturday. Before that rain arrives Sunday, high temperatures in the upper 70s. We do dry out briefly by Monday and Tuesday with highs in the 60s, but we'll see rain pushing in again on Wednesday.
And we continue to follow that breaking news. A trailer full of cows overturned along I-55 south at the stack. Police say it happened around 4 o'clock this morning when an 18-wheeler with a load of cattle overturned. We're told there were up to 110 cows on board. Now, some of them died on the wreck, and right now volunteers are in the process of trying to round up the ones who are loose. Now, we have heard reports of some of those animals possibly causing wrecks. Authorities on the scene also tell us about 110 gallons of diesel fuel has spilled out. We're going to have another live update in just a bit. Well, some special children got to shop till they drop. Coming up, the early Christmas for some local burn victims. It is 6:17. You're watching 16 WAPT News.
Sunday turning wet, especially Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening. Some of those storms could produce heavy rainfall. We could see rain between 1 to 2 inches.
We are following this breaking news right now. This wreck in Jackson. Cows loose on I-55 near the stack in Jackson. Police say it happened around 4 o'clock this morning when an 18-wheeler with a load of cattle overturned. About 110 cows were inside that trailer. Some of them died in the wreck. Volunteers are working right now to try and round up those that are on the loose. Now, we're told the driver is expected to be okay. Now, on top of all this, we're told about 110 gallons of diesel fuel also spilled out. We're going to have another live update coming up. Well, children from the Mississippi Burn Center got a special Christmas treat. 16 WAPT's Ann Parker followed volunteers who took them shopping.
A very nice experience that they can find a way to put joy back into such a traumatic experience.
Shalita Johnson's young daughter Zoe suffered from severe burns after a bowl of hot noodles fell on her a couple of months ago.
She got quite a bit of burns on her neck, on her back, stomach area, arms and legs.
But Thursday night, Zoe and about 100 other kids who are burn victims from all around Mississippi got to forget about what they've been through and have some fun.
Seen her go down the aisles and like, Mom, I want that, I want that. mad. I told him, I said, I don't know if I'm going to be able to take her to Walmart after this, because now she's trying to, oh, I can get everything.
At the annual Mississippi Burn Foundation's Shop with Docs event, kids who have been or are currently in the Mississippi Burn Center were invited to have a Christmas shopping spree.
To get a gift certificate for $150 and they can buy anything that their heart desire, that's better than a Christmas blessing.
Get dinosaurs.
Get dinosaurs. Anything else?
That's it.
It's just something amazing that we're glad that we have the opportunity to do for Christmas and to help somebody else that needs it and so much deserves it.
But especially for the older kids, it's not all about the presents. They were looking forward to seeing the folks who took care of them when they were going through the worst. How does it feel for you to see some of those nurses that were in the hospital with you?
Great. Just nice to know that they weren't forgotten once they left the hospital.
It's a blessing.
In Pearl, Ann Parker, 16 WAPT News.
We are following this breaking news this morning. A trailer full of cows overturned along I-25, along I-20. At I-55 South near the Stack in Jackson. Police say this happened around 4 o'clock this morning. An 18-wheeler with a load of cattle overturned. It was carrying about 110 cows. Now, some of them died in the wreck. Volunteers are on the scene right now trying to round up those loose animals. Here's a live look right now. You can see it's a very busy scene. Authorities say on top of all this, about 110 gallons of diesel fuel has also spilled. And Marcus, you ran into this wreck on the way into work.
Yeah, almost literally ran into some of those cattle coming down the interstate because as I was coming up, I saw what looked to be just a group of people wearing all black running down the interstate. And I got up on it and I saw that it was a bunch of cows. And it was just the strangest thing that you would think to see. You know, normally I see deer on the side of the road.
Yeah, but not...
But not a herd of cattle. Yeah, it was just strange. And but luckily, you know, the cattle, they continued to go down the interstate and stop traffic for a while. But the 18-wheelers, the drivers saw them quick enough. They were able to stop and not hit any of them going full speed on the interstate. So that was a good thing. And you know, we haven't had a lot of reports of people running into any of those cows. And so
yeah, we just got to remember, just be careful if you do have to go in this direction. Those cows are black. Now the sun is coming up, so it won't be such an issue now. But Allie was saying they're hard to see. You know, when it's dark outside. But yeah, we're taking a look right now and the sun is up a little bit more. We do want to get to our water cooler story though. Yeah,
that's right. And yesterday we spent the entire morning celebrating Christmas at a nursing home. And Keegan, you were showing off your vocals.
Oh, no.
See him right there. I don't know if we have the Nat sound to see how well of a singer and former Keegan Fox is. There we go.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I didn't know he sounded like that. I didn't know he sounded like that.
Well, you know, hey, listen, A for effort.
I'm embarrassed. No, let's not listen to this. Let's not listen to this. The residents seemed like they enjoyed it, so that's all that matters. Let's not listen to it. All right, Brittany, how's the weather?
Getting off to a mild start this morning with temperatures in the mid to upper 60s by this afternoon. Reach a high of 78 degrees on Saturday, a high of 81. We'll see a lot of showers and storms pushing in late Sunday. Before that arrives, temperatures in the upper 70s. Drying out briefly for the start of next week, but we'll see rain returning on Wednesday.